Hello to everyone. Good day. So we are here again for another topic for Java programming. So in our previous video, we have encountered what we call as if, else, if. So right now, we will be discussing another selection control structure which is called switch statement. So basically, switch statement works like an if statement, wherein it or it executes specific block of codes depending on the expression. Now, switch statement is basically a statement for executing block of statements based on the value of the expression, which allows branching in multiple statements. Okay, this is the syntax of the switch statement. Okay, so I will be giving you the flow of how the control flow of the program or the code in the switch statement. And I'll be showing you the syntax. Okay. So here, the switch keyword is constant, so that means it must be written as it is. So switch and then open close parentheses. Inside the parentheses is an expression. So in if statement, the expression should be Boolean expression. That means it should be either true or false. But in switch statement, the expression can be any data type, okay? So that the expression will result to any type or any value, okay? It could be an integer, a double, a string, etc., a character, okay? So, the switch statement will evaluate the expression, okay? It will evaluate the expression here. So it will determine what is the resulting value of the expression. So it will then match, try to match, okay, it will match, it will ask to match if the expression, okay, matches the case selector 1. Okay, the case here should be constant, so it should be written as is. So selector 1, so it is another expression. It will test by the switch statement if the expression matches selector 1. Okay? If it matches, okay, it will execute the block of statements. We have a statement here and another statement. So let's say, for example, you want to print something, you want to compute something, etc. It depends on the instruction. Okay? So again, if the expression in the switch statement matches selector 1, it will execute the statements below it. Okay? So please take note, you don't need to write a curly brace, okay, to indicate that it's a block. So it is already indicated with a colon. Okay? So that means the entire statement after the colon with a tab space, okay, with a tab space is included in the block of statement or in the block 1. Okay? Now we have here break. Okay? The break statement basically terminates control structure. Okay? So it will exit to whatever flow of the control in the control structure such as switch. It is also applicable in if, else, if, and in looping structures. So if the break statement is not included in the block of your case selector 1, if selector 1 matches, it will also proceed to the next selector 2. If you can still remember in if, else, if one condition is true, it will not proceed to the next condition. But it is different in the switch statement. If the selector 1 matches with the expression, if there is no break statement, it will proceed to the selector 2. So that is why it is one of the guidelines or suggestion that there should be a break statement after every statement in your block. Okay? So this is the definition of the block, a break statement. Okay? Now, if case selector 1 doesn't matches with the expression, it will proceed to the case selector 2. Okay? So if case selector 2 matches, so don't forget the colon, it will execute the statements in block 2. So it execute niya yung statements. Okay? And then, we do have a default here. That means the default is the last resort. Wherein if all selectors doesn't matches with the expression, it will execute the statement in the default. Then after writing the default, you will close the entire switch statement with a closing curly brace. So unlike with the if statement, the multiple statements are executed in the switch statement without needing the curly brace, just like in our syntax. So wala siyang curly brace. So when a case in a switch statement has been matched, all the statements associated with that case are executed. So all of that statements here are executed. So not only that, the statements associated with the succeeding cases are also executed. So if there are no break statement, when selector 1 is matched, so all of the succeeding cases, including the default statement, will be executed. So to prevent the program from executing statements in the subsequent cases, we will be putting the break statement as our last statement. Okay? So, I'll be putting here the flow chart for the switch statement, and I want you to analyze how it works. So, unlike with the if statement, the multiple statements are executed in the switch statement without needing the curly brace, just like in our syntax. So, wala siyang curly brace. So, when a case in a switch statement has been matched, all the statements associated with that case are executed. So, all of that statements here are executed. So, not only that, the statements associated with the succeeding cases are also executed. So, if there are no break statement, when selector 1 is matched, so all of the succeeding cases, including the default statement, will be executed. So to prevent the program from executing statements in the subsequent cases, we will be putting the break statement as our last statement. Okay? So, I'll be putting here the flow chart for the switch statement, and I want you to analyze how it works.
Okay, so you have learned how switch statement works. And you also learned the syntax of the switch statement. So basically, we'll be doing right now is to code or write a code related to switch as an exercise. So this will be your our exercise. Create a program that will display for a menu and ask for the user's choice and displays the user's choice. So this will be the menu: 1 for play the song, 2 pause the song, 3 stop the song, and 4 exit program. And then you need to enter your choice, of course. So if the user enters 1, 2, or 3, the program will just display the text. So let's say, for example, the user enters 2, so it will just display the text, pause the song. So if the user enters 4, the program must display terminating program, this one. If the user enters neither 1, 2, 3, nor 4, or he entered a number that is not in the choices, the program must display invalid input. Okay? So that will be the practice exercise problem 1. So let's open NetBeans and create a project in NetBeans. So since we'll be doing input, so we will be importing some input libraries or libraries needed for user input. So I'll be using Scanner. You can also use JOptionPane if you want to, or the message dialog boxes of the JOptionPane. So we will be declaring and instantiate the scanner system.in. Okay, sorry for this. Closing this. Okay, and then scanner is not inside. Sorry, new. Kalimutan ko. Scanner SE new, scanner system.in, and then we will be displaying the output. Okay. So basically, we will need also to declare the choice. So in choice, I'll just write in choice. Okay, so we will be, so where was I? So back to the practice problem, we will need to print this. So we'll print menu. Okay, so I'll just copy this. So first is play the song, okay, and then pause the song. Okay. Oops, sorry for that. Okay, next will be stop the song. Okay, and then exit program. And then we need also to put another system.out.print. We will use print because we'll be asking for an input. So enter your choice. Okay. So we will be storing the choice here, se.nextInt in the choice variable. And then we will be writing switch statement. So again, the switch should be constant. So it will be written as is. And we will write the expression here inside the expression inside the parentheses, which will be matched later. Okay. So we will be writing the cases. So case 1. So basically case 1 is for play the song. So we will just print system.out.println. Your choice is to play the song. Now let's just try if there is no break statement. Try lang natin. kung walang break state. So what will happen? So let's just finish the entire case selector. So pause. So this will be case 3. So for case 3, your choice should be to stop the song, and then for case 4, it should print. Okay, we'll change that to case 4. So your choice is so case 4 is to terminate the program. So terminating program. Okay, and then we will write a default block here, which is the last resort in case all of the case selector is not matched. Okay, so it will just print system.out.println, so it will print invalid input. Okay, so basically, if the choice again, if matches case 1, it will execute the statements here. Then if all of the and then it will execute all of the other case selector, including the default statement. So that is the case here because we did not include the break statement. So let's just see how it works if there is no break statement. So let's run the program. Okay. So it will print the menu, and it will ask for a input. So if I will enter 1, so basically it displayed all of the statements in the case selector. Why? Because it is matches 1. So if there is one match in the case selector, it will print all of the other statements in the other case selectors, including the default statement. As you notice, it printed also invalid input. Okay, so if I will run again, let's say 3, so it will start printing in the 3, so which is your choice is to stop the song, and it prints also the other statements below it. So it is really important to put the break statement in order to stop the control flow of the switch statement. So if there is one case selector that matches the expression, it will stop. Okay, so let's put break statement after every end of the block, or before the block will end. So you don't need to put break statement in the default because it is the last resort. Okay, so we already placed break statement in every case selector except for the default. So let's try to run the program. Okay, I will input 1. So as you notice, once your choice is to play the song is executed, and then the interpreter read and execute the break statement, so that means it will terminate the switch statement. Okay, so let's try the default. So let's try 6. Okay, so it printed invalid input. Okay, where is it? So that is the code. And this is the result or the output. So you can pause if you want to copy the codes. Okay, so that ends our discussion of the switch statement and our example of the switch statement. So I have a problem 2 to you, okay, practice problem 2. So you will do it on your own. So you will be creating a program that will display the following menu and will do a simple calculations. So it will display this menu, simple calculator. Okay. So A, addition, S, subtraction, M, multiplication, D, division, Q, squared values. Then enter your choice. So if the user enters A, so it must ask two values and compute the sum and print the sum. If the user enters S, it must ask two values, compute the difference, and print the difference. If the user enters M, it must ask two values and compute the product and print the product. If the user enters D, it must ask two values and compute the quotient and print the quotient. So if the user enters Q, it must ask two values and compute the squared values of the two values or of the two inputs and print the two squared values. So if the user enters neither A, S, M, D, nor Q, the program must print invalid input. So thank you for listening, everyone. I hope you learned something today about switch statement. So our next topic will be looping structures.